Immigration, the Democratic Party hasn't really addressed it. Only thing they've really done in response to the Republican Party or Donald Trump is that to say that he is trying to demonize immigrants. You know, my parents were immigrants. I'm first generation here. My parents came here and they had to come here legally. So when you fly over the Atlantic and you land at JFK, guess what? They're like, yo, where's your paperwork? You go through immigration. You don't just get to come into the country
Right.
and chill.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's definitely a problem financially that the Democrats have not addressed it in a way to
Yeah.
make anybody feel. They haven't even said, "Oh, you know what? We've made some mistakes. This is what we're going to do going forward." All they're doing is saying, "Hey, Donald Trump, they don't like immigrants." That's just not the case.
That's not the truth.
Vivek said in his speech, he was like, "You know what? His parents are immigrants too."
His parents are immigrants, and he said, we want immigration. We
Of
want people
course,
to come in, and to live the American dream.
right.
We want you to establish your businesses and support your family. But what we don't want is for you to do it illegally.
Legally, right,
There's nothing wrong with that.
right.
Every country protects their borders. You can't
Every
just let
country.
anybody in your country because you don't know who they are. If they're not documented, you don't know who they are. And
You
it's
have no
important to
idea.
know who's in your country.
This is a whole spectrum of services needed for people who are new to a place, new to a country, new to a city. Everything from finding warm clothes for them, to finding jobs for them, to finding shelter for them. These are complicated issues to manage. So the city, the state, and the federal government, frankly, was not prepared for it.
Texas is providing charter buses to send these illegal immigrants who have been dropped off by the Biden administration to Washington, D.C. We are sending them to the United States Capitol, where the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they are allowing to come across our border.
So the historians will probably record the current migrant crisis as a chapter of busing migrants. This kind of coordinated, dramatic busing of asylum seekers from the border to the cities inside the countries is completely unprecedented.
And then I want to go back. I'm going to go back to another piece where they just talk about the actual finances.
And this crisis is expensive. In 2018, New York City spent roughly $258 million to fund its immigration services, adjusted for inflation. By fiscal year 2023, the city had spent $1.47 billion servicing those seeking asylum. The city of Chicago spent
money.
over $194 million on its new arrivals mission since October 2022. Denver is estimated to have spent between $36.3 million to $39.1 million on migrant support services in 2023.
The three biggest items for expenses for new arrivals is housing, education, and healthcare. And they're all three high-ticket items.
The idea that we could have a generous system of welfare benefits from health to education and so on, and allow the entire world to access those benefits is just mathematically impossible. So we're starting to see the math not adding up
Math ain't
in
mathin'.
state.
The math ain't mathing. So